You're listening to the Positivity Hour podcast, hosted by Darshaun Smith. Strap in and buckle up, and let's get straight into it. Alrighty, welcome back to another episode of the Positivity Hour. As you can see, I'm out in the park, but as you can hear, I'm doing a voiceover recording in my room because I got myself all the way to the park, set up everything, and quite literally forgot my microphone. Would have used my phone as the microphone, but one of the microphones on my phone are going out, and I wasn't trying to have you listen to this whole serious episode, just out of the left side of your ear. So yeah, I decided that this was the best course of action because today's episode is a very serious one. That's why we're not doing any of that other stuff, any shenanigans, no time capsule, no, wisdom from an OG. We just getting straight to the main topic, guys. So let's hop straight into it. We've already played the intro. Today's topic we are talking about is how to actually follow through when it comes to achieving your dreams, goals, and aspirations. Like when you want to, let's say, lose some weight, that's something I'm interested in. When you want to get a Lamborghini, that's something I'm interested in. When you want to, find a wife, that's something I'm interested in doing in my life. In whatever it may be for you, it could be starting your own business or having 3 dogs and 2 cats or whatever you could think of, your dreams, goals, and aspirations. When it comes to that, we oftentimes don't have a problem getting started down the path. But for some odd reason in which we're going to talk about in today's episode, we always fall off the path. We can't make the necessary sacrifices to actually follow through and see this thing to the end. So in today's episode, I want to talk about just that, how to actually make the sacrifices necessary for long enough to reach the goal. As I've said in many a podcast, I often tell the camera and I tell y'all what I need to tell myself. But, this is something I also do have some experience in because, as I was talking about, I'm pretty sure last episode when I was out in the park, when it came to like the first time I really was invested in losing some weight, I was able to actually do it because my motivation was in the right place. I had a really strong why. And, I made the necessary sacrifices for long enough to actually see some goddamn results. And I want to talk about that. Like what did I actually do? What actually worked for me? And how you can find something that actually works for you. So with all the context out of the way, let's just hop straight into it. So first, just to recap, like you need to start by understanding like your goal, okay? Like what do you actually want? Okay? What do you want to achieve? What's your dream outcome? Okay? This is very important because if you do not have clarity on where the end point is, where do you want to be at once you get through hell, okay? Because it's going to be a tumultuous, terrible experience getting there. So you need to see the promised land, okay? You need to see yourself with the supermodel wife in the Lamborghini passenger seat, you know what I'm saying? So that when you're at the gym doing your steady state cardio to get your lung capacity up and you're lifting weights to get strong and lose and burn the muscle, and all the, or not the muscle, burn the body fat off, you can push through because you understand why you're doing it, okay? You understand why you want these things, why you want to get there. Like, how does this help you reach your goal? For me, like I said, like whether it's the losing weight or finding a wife or having a nice collection of exotic cars from all across the planet, all across the world, I want these things because they are status symbols. I want these things because they are trophies of my own accomplishments. I want these things because if I have enough money to buy a single car that could buy every house on my street, that means I have enough money to do what I actually want to do in life, which is doing what I'm doing right now, helping people become their best selves. In this case, it's a free podcast. You're watching this on YouTube, you're listening to this on Spotify or Apple or Google Podcast or whatever, you know what I'm saying? I just want to do this, but on a larger levels, okay? I want to give people free glasses. I want to educate people on like how to, stand out and be unique and be their best selves and have good mental health and all of this in the modern era, you know what I'm saying? And the cool thing is, I'm already doing my dream, okay? So everything else I'm like working at is like ancillary. It's extras. It's the maraschino cherry on top. The big sweet red one you get on a milkshake. I say all that to say, though, that once you like actually understand where you want to get to, ask yourself the question why. We talked about this about 2 episodes ago. And like I said, the reason why I want these things is so that I have a abundance of resources where I can obviously do all of the selfish stuff that I want to do because, you know, I work so goddamn hard for it. I want to enjoy it. But, you know, I want an abundance of resources, not to hoard it. I want so many resources, it would be a crime for me not to give it away. And throughout the process of gaining those resources, obviously you have to develop your character and build yourself up and learn some things. And when I'm there, and whilst I'm on my way there, like I said in this podcast, I want to help people. So that's my why. That's my like true why. I just want to feel the satisfaction of being a net benefit to society. You know, I take the saying, be the change you want to see in the world, very literally. And right now our world is cooked, chat. I'm just going to say it like that. And we need people who are willing to make some sacrifices, give some resources, give some knowledge, be vulnerable, you know, be the punching bag for others so that we can, you know, try and create a better world that is not gonna freaking not exist in like 10 years, because that's where we're heading right now, pretty much. I say all of that to say, so now that we know where you want to get to and why you want to get there, let's talk about like the path, okay? Well, no, before we talk about the path, let's talk about identifying where you are right now. That's the second step if you're keeping track in this 3-step plan here. Number 1 was understand where you want to get to. Number 2 is understanding where you're at right now. Like if you want, and like I said, in my case, if it's a weight goal, like you need to start weighing yourself, okay? And it may seem a little counterproductive because your weight is always going to fluctuate. But whatever you do, like it could be, you know, like if you have a business you want to grow or whatever, start checking your bank account and documenting how much money is there. Where's the money going? Who are you paying? You know, are you making ends meet? Stuff like that. You just need to understand where you are. So like I said, for me, to use myself as the case study, I do want to lose some weight. So I track how often I go to the gym, you know, what I currently weigh right now. And right now I'm still down like 15 pounds from the start of this year already, but my weight does fluctuate like 5 or 10 pounds throughout the day. So recently I've started like consistently weighing myself every day, first thing in the morning, you know, and because it's a consistent time at a consistent scheduled interval, you could say, you know, the measurement could be a little bit more consistent. So like same thing, like with me going to the gym, I go to the gym 3 or 4 days a week at the same time. I do go to different gyms, but nonetheless, I'm, you know, there for some cardio to get my lung capacity up. And then I'm also just now at the start of April, starting to lift weights again, and get back into, you know, trying to burn the fat and rather than just building up my lung capacity. So, doing all of that lets you know exactly where you're starting so that you can clearly define, or rather clearly redefine where you actually want to go. So now that we know, you know, step 1, like I said, where you want to go, and step 2, where you're currently starting and like how to measure that, you know, from, in the case of my example, the weight loss or whatever, or starting a business, you know, just documenting the weight or the attempts made or the money in and out and stuff like that. Number 3 is to clearly define the path you want to take to get there. So what does that look like? Let's say in this case, you know, just sticking with myself as the example here for consistency, I want to, no, this is, I'm gonna give you the real numbers. So right now my BMI is around like a 40, you know, it would say I'm severely obese. It's pretty accurate probably. And I want to be around a BMI of like 25, okay, which would mean I'm overweight, yes, but I want to be a strong 200. That's kind of my goal where I personally want to be, which means I need to lose like another 75 to 80 pounds of like actual fat, and then, well, it probably would be like 100 pounds of fat and then gain like another 30 pounds of muscle back. So that's like where I'm at right now and where I want to go. Now, what does that look like? The in-between is very foggy. It's very tedious and it's very long and played out. But as I've decided in the where I'm starting right now and how I want to get there, I'm going to the gym consistently. I'm going on walks on the days I'm not going to the gym because that's something I didn't even do. So even when I'm not, going above and beyond and trying to actively burn more calories or lift more weights, I'm still moving my body. I'm still stretching. I'm still, becoming more flexible and all of these things and more. And I'm seeing the results over time because I'm actually measuring it. If you catch my drift back to, point one. So essentially point 3 is all about just staying true to the process. And how I've been able to do that is I just started, 1, okay? And number 2 is I didn't try to do it all at once. I wasn't like, I need to lose 100 pounds this year. I would have failed epically because, we're 4 months in already and I'm only down 15 pounds. I would have had to eat like 1,000 calories a day and work out like 7 days a week to achieve that goal. And that's just, that's unrealistic. For me and my stage of the life and what the discipline and motivation I had within me, I knew after, like I said, understanding where I wanted to get to and where I'm at right now, that was unrealistic. And I was going to maybe do that for like a week. And then I was going to go eat some Five Guys and like intake 10,000 calories and gain it all back, So what I did, and this is something you could think about to actually stay on the path, is keep it short, keep it nice, sweet, and simple, okay? I started by just showing up to the gym 1 day a week, okay, to get back on the horse after hurting my ankle. Then it was 2 days a week. Then it was 3 days a week. I tried 4 and 5 days a week, and I started to fall off, and I went to the gym 0 days a week the next week. So I was like, okay, that's too much. So I found a happy medium, 3 days. That's what works for me at right now in my life with my schedule, trying to work the day job and grow my business so that my business income can overtake the day job income. Now that I know what time I'm going to the gym, I just, I show up. Even if it's just to walk the goddamn treadmill, even if it's to hit the stair climber for 30 minutes or an hour, I'm showing up and I'm burning some calories. Recently, I've started to work out more. And like I said, and throughout all the process, I'm measuring what I'm doing. I'm taking notes about what I'm doing, and I'm just keeping it simple. Like today, I did this. I'm proud of myself. Pat yourself on the back, okay? That doesn't mean like if you're on this crazy weight loss journey like I am, you can't not eat fun things, okay, brother? I just had some candy the other day, okay? Like it's a numbers and a skills game, and if you make it a torture, if you're not ready for the 1% lifestyle, you're going to quickly fall off the horse. And I'm not trying to be in the 1% physically. You know what I'm saying? This is another reason why you need to clearly define where you're going, because if you don't clearly define where you want to go, you're going to think and act as, in step 3, when you're on your path to this hypothetical, that you need to do that. You need to be a 5% body fat so you have ripped abs and all your veins are showing. Brother, if you don't want that, you don't want that. I just literally said I want to be slightly above weight, okay? But I want to be a strong overweight. I'm not trying to be a bodybuilder. I'm not trying to be, ripped 6-pack. I just want to be 200 pounds as a 5'11" man in America, okay? I think that's a reasonable target, to reach, and I think that'll allow me to have a happy life and go out to eat occasionally, have an ice cream, you know what I'm saying, still hit the gym, be able to run a mile, be able to live a life that's worth living, you know what I'm saying. Moral of the story, to summarize point 3, or really just to break down what I just talked about for the last 5 minutes into one point for you to get what I'm trying to convey here, is the journey is going to suck, but that doesn't mean it has to suck the whole time. You don't need to go balls to the wall 24/7 unless you are actually legitimately trying to be the 1% of the 1% of the 1%. In my case, in the specific goal I'm talking about, I don't want to be the 1% of the 1% of the 1%. Funny enough, just being slightly overweight and strong will put me in like the top 10 to 5%. Yeah, so yeah, I know that's crazy because everybody's pretty much obese these days, but nonetheless, I want to have a life that I can enjoy. I love food. I think it's a beautiful social thing, but I also do acknowledge the fact that my body feels pretty good when I only eat one time a day. Okay, maybe 2 times a day. I eat like a yogurt and a granola bar, and then I have an actual chicken protein bowl, you know what I'm saying, with a lunch meat sandwich or something later in the day. So I'm still eating 2,500 calories, but because I'm weighing myself consistently, even with all of that food inside me fully clothed, the number on the scale is going down. So obviously something's working. So moral of the story is, like, your goals are uniquely personal to you, and it's something that you're going to have to clearly define. And what I've been able to clearly define through these 3 steps that I've presented to you today is that you can reach these goals and still live life along the way. Just because you want to achieve something like getting a car or buying a house or finding a wife or a husband or whatever your thing is, starting that business you've always wanted to, or growing your social media following, it doesn't mean that you can't, have fun along the way. You're going to have ups, you're going to have downs, okay? You're going to have moments when you are winning big. You're going to have moments when you take 10 steps back, okay? My most recent 10 steps back is when I hurt my ankle. I had literally already lost 55 pounds, and then I hurt myself and I gained it all back, okay? And it's a giant mental struggle to overcome and be like, man, am I a failure? Am I this or that? No, bro, it was just a setback, okay? I've done it once. I've done it twice. God damn it, me personally, I've done this 3 times before. I could do it a 4th, and that's what I'm actively doing right now. And like I said, I started the year around 300 pounds, and now I'm like, 285, okay? So we're slowly getting back down, and we're just taking it day by day. So that's how you actually make the sacrifices needed, and that's my own personal story with how I'm actually doing it. It's going to be hard, but it's not something you can't do. So whether you're a teacher, like I said, you're a prospective business owner, you're a figure in the community, a pastor at your church, whatever it is, like I said, the 3 things you need to do just to keep it nice, short, and sweet. 1, plan where you actually want to go in the future. What does that look like? Make it as explicit as possible so that you understand what success looks like for you. And then you got to do number 2, which is clearly understand, measure, and define where you are right now so you can see how far you need to go. And then from there, do step 3, make a plan. Start testing some things out and just get started. Keep it super simple and just keep showing up. You're going to have some ups, you're going to have some downs, but as long as you're seeing progress because you're measuring the data, as long as you're seeing an increase in revenue, an increase in followers, an increase in whatever you're trying to look at to get better, as long as you're seeing something happen, you're doing something right. Because the only time you're doing something wrong is when nothing's changing, okay? Change is the goal here, okay? At the Positivity Hour and Company, you and me, the listeners of this podcast, we want to see change in a positive direction. And as long as you're seeing some change, even if it's negative, that's good. Because that means if you want to see something positive, start doing the opposite of that. And maybe you'll get in the right direction you want to go. So, with all that being said, I went a little bit over the time I wanted to be at. But hey, 18 minutes ain't bad. And yeah, thanks for listening. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for being a part of this. And thanks for being yourself. I believe in you. I love and appreciate you. It's a beautiful thing, okay? Go have a great day today, my people, and keep showing up. No matter what happens to you, no matter what anybody says to you, no matter what is going on in your life, keep showing up, okay? Because that's what I choose to do. You know what I'm saying? And I've seen success. That doesn't mean ignore your problems. That just means you're not going to be able to get out of hell if you stop right in the middle of it. It's very hard for someone to take a good shot at you if you're always moving towards that goal. So whether, like I said, you want the the house and the kids, the picket fence and 2 dogs, or me with the Lamborghini, being in shape, being able to lift some heavy weights and all of that stuff, like whatever it is, just keep moving towards that goal and you'll find ways to make more money. You'll find ways to improve your lifestyle. You'll find ways to live a life worth living before you leave this earth. And that's what it's all about. Make sure you like, subscribe, unsubscribe, hit, comment, follow, or unfollow, share, report, positive comment. I don't care what you do. Just have a great day, and I'll see you around. Deuces. Oh, yeah, and new music is here. Just dropped a new song last Friday, dropping a new song the next Friday, dropping a song the Friday after that, with an album the Friday after that. So go check it out. And, yeah, go be great, my friend. Yeah.
DSP. We capture moments.
I mean, y'all know the vibe, man. STP, GTB, see the rappers 319, we litty. It's 2026 by the time you hear this. We ain't feeling no more, man. We taking L's, yes, but we learning lessons. Yes, sir. Come on, keep up. New year, same me. All I do is apply my lessons. Same me, new year. All I'm doing is turning up. It's 2026, bruh. Come on and turn up and be amazing. Look yourself in the mirror, bruh, and say it's a great day to have a great day. Yes, sir. Go be great, my friend. Yeah. Go be great, my friend. Go be great, my friend. Yes, sir. Go be great, my friend. I mean, you know the vibe. Go be great, my friend. I believe in you, I know you can do it. Never give up till you achieve the dream. It's a great day to have a great day. Come on, turn up and be amazing. Yes. Great day to have a great day. Come on, turn up and be amazing. Yeah. It's a great day to have a great day. Come on, turn up and be amazing. Yeah. Get the bread that can let depend on it. Come on, brother, that's what Simon said.